The room was quiet inside the Galactic Council Hall. Only the soft hum of lights and the tapping of screens broke the silence. Counselor Relin stood near the center table, staring at the large display. A dark blue sphere floated in the middle. "It was Earth. Still no contact?" asked Mira, the youngest counselor. Her voice was calm, but there was worry in her eyes. Relin shook his head slowly. "Nothing. No signal. No trade routes. No human ships seen for weeks. Earth is silent." Whispers spread across the hall. Counselors from many worlds looked at one another. The humans were loud, always speaking, building, traveling, asking questions, solving problems. Their silence now felt like thunder. Counselor Droll, an old and careful voice, leaned forward. "Maybe they destroyed themselves. We all knew humans. Play with dangerous machines. They move too fast, talk too fast. Maybe it was only a matter of time." Mira frowned. "No. They were careful, curious, yes, brave, yes, but they cared about life. They helped rebuild the Melari system after the firestorms. They ended the border wars between the Kez and Thala. They would not just vanish." Relin nodded in agreement. "I will go. I want to see it myself." The council allowed it. A scout ship was prepared, fast and silent. Relin, along with 2 pilots, left for Earth. The journey took 3 days. As the ship neared the solar system, they passed by quiet planets. No patrols, no signal beacons. Not even satellites dot when Earth came into view. Relin stood silently in the window. The planet still turned slowly in the dark. Its blue oceans and green lands looked calm. But something was wrong. Space stations were empty. Ships floated lifeless near the moon. The orbit was full of broken parts. It looked like a great silence had covered everything. The ship landed on the old human base. Near the equator, there was no defense system to stop them. The doors opened without any password. The halls were clean. The air was fresh. Lights still worked, but there were no people. Relin walked through wide halls, past living rooms, control centers, and learning rooms. He saw books still on tables, shoes near beds, coffee cups on desks. Everything looked like people had just left, but no one was there. Relin picked up a tablet from the floor. It still worked. He opened the last message saved on it. "If you are reading this, we are already gone. Not dead. Gone. We had to. The galaxy is not ready yet, but one day it will be. And when it is, we will return, or something better will." There was no name sign at the end. Relin took a breath. He walked out onto a wide balcony. The wind blew softly. He looked at the stars. He thought about how loud the humans used to be, how full of energy they were, how fast they changed everything. And now, only silence. Back on the ship, the pilots checked every system. They scanned deep into the planet. No human signals, no human life, nothing hiding underground. It was like they had packed everything and left quietly. Relin told the pilots to take them to Mars. Mars was the humans' second base. Maybe someone stayed behind. When they reached Mars, it was the same. The colony was clean. Machines were working. Gardens were green. But no people. He stood inside the main hall and saw a tall flag hanging from the roof. The human symbol was there, bright and strong. Under it, words written in many languages. "We protect. We build. We leave when it is time." It felt like a message, a farewell note, or maybe a warning. Relin sent a deep scan to the Galactic Council. Earth and colonies are empty. No signs of war. No destruction. Systems are running. But no humans remain. "I believe they left on purpose." The council reacted with confusion. Some believed Relin. Some still thought humans had died quietly. Some said it was a trick. But Relin had seen it. He had felt it. Humans had not been taken. They had not fallen. They had walked away. Why? Back in the council hall, Mira studied the message Relin had sent. She remembered old stories. Long ago, when the Tarkin Empire attacked 10 systems, it was the humans who stopped them. When the food networks of the Eastern Belt failed, humans shared their own supply ships. They did not act like conquerors. They acted like watchers, builders, helpers, and now They had disappeared. She opened an old human file stored in the archives. It was from a small speech, recorded 50 years ago. An old human woman spoke into the camera. Her voice was soft but strong. We are not forever. We do not wish to rule. We only wish to help. And when our time is over, we will go. But if the galaxy ever cries again, we will return. Or something stronger will. Mira sat back. She looked at the stars through the window. Maybe they had left not because they were afraid. Maybe they had left because they had done what they came to do. Relin returned from his mission and stood in front of the council. He placed a small device on the table. This is all I found. A planet full of machines, working like clockwork. Homes full of life, but no people. Messages of goodbye. No war. No chaos. Just peace and silence. The council grew quiet again. And for the first time in many years, they were afraid. Because the humans were gone, and nobody knew where they went. A week passed after Relin's report. The Galactic Council Hall remained tense. Whispers floated through the air. Even the busiest trade routes were quieter than usual. Everyone was talking about one thing. Humans were gone. The council gathered again for an emergency session. More than 50 members from different planets sat in the circular hall. Lights above flickered gently. Screens floated in the air showing maps, messages, and video recordings from Earth and its colonies. Relin stood at the front, facing the council. You have all seen the images. Earth is not destroyed. The colonies are not damaged. Systems are still active. But there is no sign of human life. It is as if they disappeared by choice. Some counselors looked troubled. Others still believed in other ideas. Counselor Droll stood. His voice was sharp. This could be a human trick. They were always planning, always hiding projects and weapons. What if they are watching us right now, testing us? A murmur rose in the room. Relin raised a hand. There is no reason to think that. Humans always worked with us, helped us. They never wanted control. They only asked for peace. Counselor Vec from the Tyrant system leaned forward. My grandfather was saved by a human team during the Red Sun crisis. They risked their lives to repair our sun shields. I did not believe they would fake their own disappearance. Mira sat quietly in the corner. Her eyes were on a small screen. She had spent days going through old human records, speeches, letters, news files. Something inside her said this was no accident. The humans had been planning this for a long time. She stood and spoke. I found something strange. In the human historical archives, there are small signs. Not in one place, but many warnings, hints. They spoke of a day when they would leave. And something would be needed after they were gone. Relin turned to her. What did you find exactly? Mira tapped the screen. A message appeared. It was old, written over 80 years ago, from a human leader named Lean. Our time here is not forever. We are not the end of history. We are a step. One day, the galaxy will face a moment of great change. If we remain, we may stop that change. So we will prepare the way, and we will leave. Gasps filled the hall. Counselor Droll scoffed. Words from a human dreamer. It means nothing. Mira stood tall. It means they were thinking far ahead. It means they believed something bigger was coming. Relin looked at her. What do you think it means? Mira paused. I think they saw a future, where their presence would stop others from growing. So they stepped away. Not because they were afraid, but because they trusted we would take the next step ourselves. Silence filled the hall again. Some nodded slowly. Others still did not understand. Outside the hall, the galaxy had started to feel the change. Without human ships, many trade routes slowed. Without human experts, some systems struggled to fix their machines. Humans had helped design many things. Their minds worked in strange ways. They found simple answers to hard problems. Now those answers were gone. On a distant planet called Luma, a science station lost power in its energy core. Normally, a human engineer would arrive and fix it in hours. This time, it took for days. One mistake caused a reactor leak. 3 workers were injured. The message spread across systems fast. On another planet, a disease began to spread in a farming colony. Humans once had special med teams who could stop such problems in a day. Now, the council sent help, but it arrived too late. The crop was lost. Whispers grew louder. Some said the humans had cursed the galaxy by leaving. Some said they were hiding somewhere and laughing, but others remembered their kindness. A child named Rena on the planet Vex kept a journal left behind by a human teacher. She read it every night. The teacher had written stories about stars, dreams, and how to always ask questions. Rena told her friends that the humans were not gone. They were just sleeping somewhere in the sky. Back in the council hall, Mira dug deeper. She found another file, hidden in a forgotten server from a human research station. It was only 3 lines. They will come from beyond. They will not speak. They will not ask, only take. If this happens, remember what we left behind. She showed it to Relin. What does it mean? He asked. I think they were warning us about something. Maybe they knew a threat was coming, and maybe they made something to protect us after they were gone. Relin thought for a moment. We need to search again. Not for humans, but for what they left behind. The council gave them permission. A new mission began. Mira, Relin, and a small team were sent to visit old human outposts, places humans had once worked, build things, study the stars. They started with the station near the frozen belt. It was quiet, but one room had power. Inside, they found a map drawn on a wall, not with machines, with human hands. Lines showed systems and stars, circles marked in red. And at the center, one word written in bold letters. Ember Mira looked at it and whispered, "This is something. I know it." Relin nodded. "Then we follow it." The team packed the data and left the station. The next stop was a hidden base on the edge of known space. It was once used by human thinkers and builders. Now, it might hold the answers. As the ship moved through the stars, Mira looked out the window. She did not feel afraid. She felt something else, a soft voice inside her mind saying, they knew this moment would come, and they trusted us to find the truth. The stars outside blinked gently. Somewhere, a secret was waiting. Mira stood at the front of the ship, watching the stars move past the glass window. They were heading toward Vora, one of the earliest human colonies. It was once a place full of life, art, and science. Human families had lived there for generations. Now it was empty. Relin sat beside her, reading the notes taken from the frozen station. The map with the word Ember still burned in his mind. What did it mean? Was it a weapon, a warning, or something else the humans had left behind? The ship landed smoothly on the surface of Vora. From above, the planet still looked green and peaceful. The sun shone across the wide fields and silver buildings. Gardens were untouched. Wind turbines still turned slowly. Power flowed through the city, but there were no people. Mira stepped onto the soft grass. She looked around. The place looked ready for life but felt quiet. The wind was the only sound. Birds still flew in the sky. Trees moved gently. It felt like the humans had just walked away yesterday. The team moved into the city. Buildings opened as they approached. Lights turned on. The systems were welcoming them. But every room was empty. Inside one house, a table was set for dinner. Plates sat in place. Cups were half full. A book lay open on the couch. Nothing was broken. There was no sign of fear or rush. It looked like the people had just stood up and left. In the library, Mira found a journal left on a desk. It belonged to a teacher named Halen. She read a page. Aloud, we were told to prepare for departure. It is not the end. It is the next chapter. We do this because we believe the galaxy must grow on its own. We leave behind our tools, our lessons, and our care. Not all will understand, but one day they will. Relin looked around the room. They planned it, all of this, every small detail. It was not escape. It was a peaceful goodbye. The team moved to the central tower. There, they found a large sculpture made of stone and metal. It showed humans standing beside other species, holding hands. Under the sculpture were words written in many languages. We build. We protect. We vanish. Mira touched the words with her fingers. They were never trying to rule the galaxy. They were trying to guide it, and when they thought their guidance was enough, they let go. Relin nodded. But why now? Why did they think this was the time to leave? One of the crew members, a quiet analyst named Bren, pointed to a nearby screen. It showed an old recording. A human scientist spoke to a group of children. One day, you may hear that we left. Some will say we were scared. Some will say we gave up. That is not true. We will leave because we trust others to carry the light forward. We are not the end of the story. We are part of it. The screen turned off by itself. Silence followed. The team left Vora with heavy thoughts. They visited 3 more colonies over the next 5 days. Each one told the same story. On the planet Nema, a giant research lab still worked. It was building solar parts and storing energy. Robots moved silently. Through the halls, they cleaned the floors, watered the plants, and checked the systems. When Mira asked one of the robots where the humans were, it replied calmly, "The humans are not here, but their work continues. Please do not disturb the peace." On another colony called Tanis, they found a music hall. Instruments still sat on the stage. A recording played on repeat. It was a song, a soft, slow song filled with hope. The lyrics spoke of stars, journeys, and finding new beginnings. Relin listened carefully. The last line stayed in his mind. If one day you feel lost, listen to the silence. It may carry our voice. After each visit, the feeling grew stronger. The humans had not run. They had chosen this. They had watched, waited, and planned. And now they were gone, leaving behind places full of life, but no living people. Back on the ship, Mira spread out all the notes, the journal from Vora, the map. With Ember, the recordings from Tanis and Nema. She placed them on a digital screen and connected the dots. "There's a pattern," she said. Relin came closer. "What kind of pattern?" Mira zoomed in on the map. She marked each colony they had visited. Then she added the locations mentioned in the recordings. A shape formed. "It is a path," she said. They were leaving clues, not just to say goodbye, but to lead someone towards something. Relin looked carefully. The last point in this pattern is near the edge of the known galaxy, a place we have never visited. Mira nodded. It matches the place marked with the word Ember. The crew prepared for the journey. It would take longer than their usual routes. The place was far, cold, and quiet. Some believed it was empty. Space. Others said strange signals had been heard there in the past, but no one had gone to explore. As they flew through the dark space, Relin thought about everything they had seen. "Do you think they knew a danger was coming?" he asked. Mira answered softly, "I think they knew something was always coming. Humans never waited for trouble. They prepared. Maybe this is their way of protecting us." Even after they left, Relin looked out at the stars. "We may not find them, but we might find what they left behind." The stars outside were no longer blinking softly. They were fading, one by one. As the ship moved deeper into the cold edge of the galaxy, something was waiting in the dark. Not a voice, not a sound, but maybe, just maybe, a key. The stars outside the ship grew dim as the crew traveled farther into deep space. They had followed the trail left behind by the humans, one message at a time. Now they were heading toward the last point on the map, a place near the edge of the galaxy, a place called Ember Point. Relin stood near the ship's window. He had seen many things in his life. He had visited great cities in the stars and watched planets being born. But this place felt different. The space ahead was colder, darker, and heavier. Mira walked into the control room. Her eyes were tired but focused. "We are close," she said. "Less than 2 hours now." Relin nodded. "Are the scans showing anything?" Mira shook her head. "No signals, no energy bursts, just silence. But I don't believe it is empty." As the ship moved through the dark space, strange shapes appeared outside. Broken satellites, old space junk, maybe from human ships or others who came before. Everything floated in silence. Nothing moved, nothing attacked, but something still felt wrong. Suddenly, the ship shook. A warning alarm flashed across the screens. The pilot shouted, "Energy spike ahead." "It's not natural." The crew looked at the display. A strange wave of light was coming toward them. It passed through the ship without touching anything. No damage, no sound. But every system blinked for a moment. Relin checked the main panel. Did we lose control? The pilot shook his head. No, everything is working again. But it felt like something scanned us. Mira turned to the others. They know we are here. Before anyone could speak, a second wave passed through. This time, the ship's screen showed something new. A station appeared in the distance. It had been hidden before, covered by a field of light. Now it was slowly becoming visible. It was large, dark, and shaped like a ring. No light shone from its walls. No movement was seen. It looked old and forgotten. Relin spoke with calm focus. Take us in slowly. Be ready for anything. As the ship approached, a voice came from the station. It was calm and deep. You have followed the path. You carry the signs. Access is granted. The ship landed inside the station. The doors opened. The air was breathable. Lights turned on, one by one, showing a wide hallway ahead. Mira, Relin, and two crew members stepped inside. The hallway was clean. The walls were made of metal and crystal. Symbols were written in both human and alien languages. At the end of the hallway, they reached a round chamber. In the center was a tall black pillar. It had smooth sides and glowed faintly. Around it were chairs, screens, and strange machines. One screen turned on by itself. A face appeared. It was a human. A man with gray eyes and calm expression. If you are seeing this, then we are truly gone. I am Aaron, last speaker of Earth's Ember Project. This station was built to remain long. After our departure, it holds our knowledge, our warnings, and our hope. The screen showed stars, maps, and strange movements across space. There is a force beyond this galaxy. We call them the Silent Ones. They do not speak. They do not build. They only take. We saw signs of their approach years ago. We knew they would come one day. The crew watched in silence. Mira stepped closer. The voice continued. We believed the galaxy would grow stronger if it learned without us. But we did not leave it unguarded. Project Ember is our last shield. If the Silent Ones come, this station will send a signal. It will wake the systems we left behind. Ships, codes, defenses, and maybe more. Relin looked at Mira. They planned for this. They saw the threat before anyone else. Mira spoke softly. They didn't run. They prepared. The screen showed a countdown timer. It was already active. It showed the time left before full activation of Ember. 7 days. Relin turned to the others. We need to inform the council. The galaxy must prepare. The team returned to the ship. As they left the station, the door behind them closed and vanished again under a cloak of light. Ember was once again hidden. The ship moved fast through space. Within a day, they sent their full report to the Galactic Council. When the message reached the council hall, panic spread quickly. Counselor Droll stood again. This confirms it. A threat is coming. A real one. One even the humans feared. Counselor. Vec looked around the hall. They left tools for us. They trusted we would use them when the time came. The time is now. The council voted quickly. Emergency codes were sent across hundreds of systems. Borders were strengthened. Military fleets were gathered. But many feared it would not be enough. On several planets, people began to panic. News of the Silent Ones spread. Some believed the end was near. Some blamed the humans for leaving. Others looked toward the stars and hoped the humans would return. In the middle of this fear, Mira stood in front of the council again. Humans did not leave to save themselves. They left to test us, to see if we could carry on. But they also gave us their tools, their stations, their warnings, and maybe something more. Relin stepped beside her. We do not know if the humans are truly gone, but I believe they are still watching. Maybe not with ships, maybe not with voices, but through what they left behind. The countdown from Ember continued. 6 days left. The skies across the galaxy began to change. Faint signals were picked up on the edges. Strange ships were seen. Near dark systems, energy patterns never recorded before were appearing. The Silent Ones were coming. But the humans had seen them first. and they had prepared a fire to light the darkness. The ship moved slowly toward a hidden moon base. It was called Reese 7. The Council had never sent ships there before. It was a place forgotten by most, covered in ice and stone. But the human map pointed here. It was the key to Project Ember, Relin. And Mira prepared to lead the landing team. The crew was nervous but ready. The ship landed on the frozen surface. Outside, the air was cold and still. No wind, no noise. Only the distant glimmer of stars. The door opened automatically. The air inside was warm and clean. The team entered a wide hall filled with machines. Some looked old. Others still hummed with quiet power. At the center was a large console with a blinking light. Mira moved closer and touched the screen. A message appeared. Welcome to Ember Station. Authorized personnel only. Relin smiled. We are authorized. We come in peace. The console accepted the command. Doors opened to deeper rooms. The team moved carefully, lights turning on with every step. Walls showed old pictures. Humans working together with other species. Smiling faces. Hands holding tools. Machines being built. In one room, they found a large artificial intelligence. It was shaped like a sphere, covered with soft blue light. The AI spoke when Mira approached. Greetings. I'm Ben, caretaker of Ember Station. Humans created me to guard their final project. Relin bowed his head slightly. We have come to learn what Ember is. Ben's light pulsed gently. Project Ember is not a weapon. It is a watchful eye, a warning system. If a threat from beyond the galaxy appears, Ember will awaken human systems across space. Defense grids, ships, and machines will activate. It is the last hope to protect the galaxy. Mira asked, why did humans lead this project here? Why not take it with them? Ben answered slowly. Humans believed their presence might stop others from growing. They wanted the galaxy to learn, to grow without their direct influence. Ember is a gift, a tool for others to use when needed. It waits quietly, hidden until the time comes. Relin nodded. What about the silent ones? You mentioned them before. Ben's light flickered. They are a danger unlike any other. They do not negotiate. They consume and destroy without mercy. Humans saw them coming many cycles ago. Ember is designed to stop them, or at least slow them down. Mira looked at the console. How do we activate Ember fully? Ben's voice was calm. The activation requires a key, a device made by humans and hidden here. It is locked in the vault room. Only authorized humans or their descendants can unlock it. Relin frowned. Do we have any way to find the key? Ben's light pulsed again. There may be descendants, humans left behind, children before their departure. Children raised by machines and AI. They carry human DNA but are different. They were hidden to protect the key. Mira felt a chill. Where can we find them? Ben's voice softened. They are in the deep systems, places forgotten by others. They watch and wait. They are silent but ready. Relin turned to Mira. We must find them. They may be our last chance. The crew moved deeper into the station. In a secure vault, they found the key. It was small and glowing faintly. When Mira touched it, the whole station seemed to pulse with energy. Ben explained. This key will link Ember to the galaxy. It will start the awakening. Relin smiled. With hope, then we have time. We can prepare. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. Red lights flashed. Ben's voice changed. Warning. Unknown ships detected near Ember Point. Relin ordered. All hands to stations. Prepare for defense. Outside, small ships appeared from the dark. They were fast and silent. No flags or signs. They moved quickly toward the station. Mira took control of the ship's weapons. We may have to fight for Ember itself. The team worked together. Lasers fired. Shields glowed. The battle was tense but short. The attackers retreated, leaving the station safe for now. Relin looked at Mira. They want Ember. They know its power. Mira nodded. We must activate it soon. The countdown from the station showed 5 days left. Back at the Galactic Council, the news spread fast. Leaders realized the threat was real and close. Mira and Relin sent messages. We have the key. Ember can be activated, but we must find the human descendants. They hold the final piece. The council prepared fleets and sent search teams to find the descendants. In the quiet corners of the galaxy, the descendants waited. They were different from other humans. Their minds were sharp. Their skills were many. But they were silent. Watchers, hidden until the time was right. Mira felt hope. Humans may be gone, but their legacy lives. Relin smiled, and it may save us all. The search for the human descendants had begun in earnest. The Galactic Council sent out teams to the far corners of known space. They scoured hidden colonies, old space stations, and abandoned ships, but no one had seen humans in a long time. Mira and Relin led a special mission to a remote star system called Zephyr. It was a small cluster of planets, almost forgotten by many. There were rumors of strange ships seen in the shadows, ships that moved silently and vanished quickly. No one knew who they belonged to. Their ships slipped through the star system quietly. Sensors picked up faint signals coming from a large moon orbiting the main planet. The signals were not like the usual trade or military codes. They were soft, almost like whispers. Relin checked the readings. This is not a normal communication. It is coded. It may be a language or a warning. Mira nodded. We need to investigate. They landed on the moon's surface. It was rocky and cold. The sky was dark, but bright stars shone above. They moved carefully toward the signals. Source. It led them to a hidden underground base. Inside, the walls were smooth and clean. The air was fresh. Strange machines hummed softly. Then, suddenly, a door opened. From the shadows came a figure. It was not quite human. The figure's skin was pale, almost glowing. Their eyes were bright and sharp. They wore a simple suit with no markings. The figure stepped forward and spoke. I am Darren. I am one of the children left behind by the humans. Relin and Mira looked at each other in surprise. Darren continued. We were created before the humans left, raised by machines and AI. We carry their blood. But we are more than humans now. Mira asked gently, why have you stayed hidden all this time? Darren smiled softly. To watch, to wait, to prepare. We knew the Silent Ones would come. We knew the galaxy needed to be ready. Relin was curious. What is your purpose now? Darren's eyes shone. To protect, to guide, to remind. Mira asked, remind whom? Those who forget. The galaxy often forgets its past. It forgets the price of peace. We remind them that strength is not just in weapons or numbers. It is in knowledge, unity, and hope. Darren led them deeper into the base. They reached a large hall filled with screens and machines. It was a command center, the heart of the hidden human legacy. On one screen, maps showed star systems. Lines connected them like a web. At the center was Ember Station. Darren pointed. We have been linked to Ember since its creation. We are the key to its full power. Relin asked, how do you connect with Ember? Darren smiled. Through our minds and the AI, we can awaken the systems, unlock the defenses, and control the fleet. Mira was amazed. You are the final part of the human plan. Darren nodded. Yes, without us, Ember is only half alive. With us, it can protect the galaxy. Suddenly, the base's alarms rang out. Red lights flashed. Darren's face grew serious. The Silent Ones are near. Their ships move quickly. Relin ordered. Prepare defenses. We must hold the line. The team rushed to stations. Screens showed strange ships approaching. Dark, fast, and silent. The battle began. The descendants and the crew worked together. Their skills and machines fought the attackers. Lasers and shields clashed in the cold moon sky. After a long fight, the attackers retreated. The base was safe for now. Darren looked at Relin. This is only the beginning. The Silent Ones will return. Mira stood beside him. We have the key. We have the knowledge. We will fight. Relin nodded. The galaxy is not alone. Humans may have left the stars, but their children remain. As the battle ended, Darren spoke to the council through the ship's communication. We are not here to rule. We are here to remind, to protect the light humans once brought to the galaxy, and to help all who wish to stand against the coming dark. The council listened closely. Hope returned to many hearts. The humans had not vanished forever. They had evolved, and in this new form, they would fight to save the galaxy one last time. The great battle was coming. The Silent Ones were moving closer to the heart of the galaxy. Their ships darkened the stars. Their silence was deeper than space itself. The Galactic Council's fleets gathered in the central system. Fear and hope mixed in the air. Mira stood on the command bridge of the flagship. She watched the stars streak by as the fleet moved to meet the enemy. Beside her was Darren, the leader of the human descendants. He was calm but ready. His eyes held a quiet strength. Relin came to them. He looked at the fleet outside. "This will be the test," he said softly. "The moment humans spoke about so long ago." Darren nodded. "We carry their blood and their knowledge. We will fight with their courage." The fleet entered the battle zone. The Silent One ships came like shadows. They attacked without warning. Their weapons were strange, and their tactics were cold and precise. The battle raged. Across space, lasers cut through darkness, shields flared and shattered. Ships moved fast. Dodging and striking, the fleets fought hard. But the Silent Ones seemed endless. Darren took control of the human fleet. His voice spoke calmly through the network. "Hold formation. Use the Ember tactics. Focus on their command ships. We fight for more than survival." The Ember tactics were strange but brilliant. The ships moved like parts of a living machine. They worked together, attacking and defending as one. Slowly, the tide began to turn. The Silent Ones lost ships. Their attacks grew weaker. The human descendants and the Council fleets pushed forward. In the center of the battle, a massive ship appeared. It was the Silent One's command ship, dark and towering. It sent waves of power through space. Darren led the final attack. His fleet surrounded the ship, using Ember's secrets. They broke through the shields. The command ship fell. The remaining Silent Ones retreated into the darkness. The galaxy was safe, for now. The Council cheered. The ships turned toward home. Mira stood beside Darren and Relin. She felt a deep peace. Darren spoke quietly. "The humans never truly left. They changed, they grew, and they prepared the way for us." Relin smiled. "Their final message remains." Mira turned to the communication screen. A recorded message played. It was the voice of a human leader from long ago. "We left because we believed in the future. We left so others could grow. We watched in silence, ready to return if needed. Strength is not in weapons alone. It is in what you build, in what you protect, and in what you share." The message ended with a calm smile. Mira looked at the Council members watching the message. "The humans taught us many things, not just how to fight, but how to believe in hope, courage, and unity," Relin added. "They showed us that leaving does not mean giving up. It means trusting others to carry the light forward." Darren looked to the stars. "The galaxy is wide and full of stories. Ours is not finished. But with the humans' legacy, we can face the future together." The Council agreed. Plans were made to strengthen alliances, to build new ships, to prepare for any threat. The humans had vanished from the stars, but their spirit remained, a spirit of hope, strength, and care, and the galaxy would never forget.